पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So today's session is taken strictly from Bhagavad Gita. So the name of Bhagavad Gita, which is known also as, anyone knows the name? What it's written? As it is. So as it is very significant because in this age, especially in Kali Yuga, you will get all duplicate mal. Everything is contaminated. But Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, so he kept everything as it is. As spoken by Krishna to Arjuna, that only has been given. So therefore the name is as it is. There is no contamination, there is no speculation that has been added. So therefore this has been a revolutionary Bhagavad Gita. You see, it is the most distributed Gita across the whole world. More than 55 crores of copies have been distributed across the world. So that's a huge number that brought the revolution. Not just in our country, but across the globe. So that's the contribution of our dear founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. It's only by his mercy that today we are sitting here in Bangalore on a Saturday evening, weekend. We are sitting together and studying Bhagavad Gita. Who could imagine that would be possible? It's only by his mercy. So we'll pay our respects and gratitude to him, and with that we'll start today's session. So there is a little bit change in today's session. So it was going to be the lost will, but since Pranjal Guru was not available, so I'm taking some different session. So the name of the session is Dealing with Adverse Situations. It's a very, very relevant topic because everyone faces adverse situations, right? There is no one who can claim that I do not have any bad situations, any adverse situations in their life. Is there such a person? Only in advertisements you will find such person, not in reality. Only in your WhatsApp story status you will find people are happy and they are not having any adverse situations in their life. So therefore today's topic it becomes of very, very great significantly important because everyone faces the problems. But then how to solve it in the light of Bhagavad Gita, that we'll try to see in today's class. So let's begin with some trivial observations in the human society. We might see that in this world some people are born rich. Some have the privilege to be born in the family of Ambani, Mukesh Ambani. Whereas some are very, very poor. Some are born very poor, that they do not have even the basic needs. Some are born strong, whereas some are born very, very weak. Some are beautiful, on the other hand, some are not so good looking. Some have a lot to eat, and some don't even get a little drop of water. Some get the best of education, other people, they do not even have the basic needs. Some are born fair, some are born dark. Some stay in a big mansion, some stay in a small huts. Some are born blind, physically challenged, whereas some have various capacities and they are intelligent. Some are very, very talented. So we see why there is so much discrimination, why there is so much diversity in the human society. So what is the basis of this diversity? Why are some people born poor, rich, some have facilities, some don't have? So, and how is such diversity justified? And is it just by chance? Is it just by luck that I am getting born in so and so family? Or is there some deeper aspect into it? And if God exists, then why so much suffering is there? Why people are struggling even for their basic needs, capacities? So why it's like that? And most importantly, why do bad things happen to good people? Because everyone naturally put themselves into the category of good people, and they think कि मेरे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है? Why only I am suffering in this world, even though I have done all good activities since my childhood. So हम तो दूध के धुले हुए. So now these all questions we'll try to understand and we'll try to answer, because atheist people, they put all these questions that if God exists, then why so much discrimination is there? So we'll try to understand today, we'll try to justify in the light of the scriptures today. So one short answer for all of this is Karma, the law of action and reaction. So let's understand this karma through a very nice small video. You understood what happened? So he very negligently threw a bottle at someone, and that came back. So it's a funny video, not to understand it in depth. But this is what is karma. If in one line you have to define karma, that is karma is no menu. You get served what you deserve. If you go to restaurants, there is a list of menu from which you can select from. But karma is not like that. It's whatever you have done, according to that only you will get the results. So you will reap the results. You cannot say that मेरे life में इतना problem क्यों है. So that we'll understand how. First of all, let's understand a few basic rules, principles, or tenets of karma. So first is every action has equal and opposite reaction. That we study as the third law of Newton also. So that comes from here, from karma. So every action has equal and opposite reaction. Second one, responsibility comes when intelligence is developed. So this point also we'll see in detail. We'll try to understand what does it mean. And third and final tenet is human life is a junction. So this also we'll try to understand. So just for time being, just remember these three things. We'll discuss all three of them elaborately. So first of all, let's understand what are the different types of karma from Bhagavad Gita. What does Bhagavad Gita says about karma? You can repeat these words after me. Karmano hi api bodhavyam.
Karmano hi api bodhavyam.
Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha.
Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha.
Akarmanascha bodhavyam.
Akarmanascha bodhavyam.
Gahana karmano gati.
Gahana karmano gati.
Can someone read the translation from the audience? कोई भी पढ़े सोचते हैं. Bro, you want to read?
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know how properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
So three things are given: action, forbidden action, and inaction. So these are the three types of karma. So let's see all three of them. First of all, action. It generally refers to good karma or punya. Any examples of punya karma? Giving charity to a poor person. So these are the karma or activities which will reap good results. So if I do a good activity, naturally something good will come to me. That is called good karma. That is called punya also. Like feeding poor, opening hospitals, schools, etc., etc. So many things come under this. And good karma, it leads to enjoyment. It leads to good facilities. Second one, that is forbidden action, or we call it as bad karma or papa. So an example of bad karma?
Doing wrong to others,
Stealing, cheating, murdering, raping, so many things are there. So first of all, tell me, how do we understand whether if a karma is good or bad? Let's say I'm performing an activity. How do you tell whether that activity is good or bad?
It's hurting someone, that's bad.
If it is hurting someone, okay. Any other definition? I want a more precise, more crisp definition. What if you are hurting a terrorist? Then it becomes, still is it a bad action? Or let's say for an example, is killing good?
Depends what we are doing.
Correct. And charity, is charity good? In general terms, people say yes, but what if I am giving charity to some terrorist organization? So then what is the basis of karma? How do you define then karma? Is it a good karma or bad karma? On what basis? Is it just the result or intention? Because we see many times that intention is good but the result is wrong. Or other ways also happen, intention is bad but result is wrong. So what is the basis of karma? So that is according to scriptures. So like for example, if you go to a court, So how are the decision made based upon a law book? So that law book is scriptures from us. So that is the basic scriptures gives us the basic understanding from which we can understand whether a karma is a good karma or bad karma. Not by my speculation, not by my rules. I'm no one to decide. I have to follow what scripture says, what Bhagavad Gita says. So based upon that. So these are some of the examples of bad karma. And bad karma leads to bad results or suffering. Now, let's see a very nice words from Bhagavad Gita. This actually bad karma means disregarding the scriptures, and those who disregard scriptures, to them what happened? Let's see. So, someone read the translation for this. You want to read, Robert?
But those who, out of envy, disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection.
So, those who don't follow scriptures, actually, it is said that they are like animals only. A nice term is used in our scriptures. It is called Dvipad Pashu. Dvipad means two-legged animal, Pashu. So he has two legs. He is considered in the body of human only, but still he is considered as an animal. Because such a person who does not study scripture, then what is the difference between him and animal? That we saw in the first session also. So those people who disregard scriptures, they are considered to be bereft of all knowledge, be fooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. They cannot attain any perfection. So we have seen what is karma and vikarma. Now another third category which might be new for all of you is akarma. So karma, we saw that it reaps good results. Vikarma, it reaps bad result. What about akarma? What is the meaning of akarma?
Inaction.
Inaction. That is do nothing. Then how is it a karma? Karma, action itself means that we have to do something. Akarma is those actions which do not produce any result. Karma produces good results. Vikarma produces bad result. And akarma means those actions which do not produce any result. So those are some, let's see, karma activities are lead to devotional activities or activities where you keep God in center. So now tell me which is better, karma, akarma or vikarma? Akarma. What about karma? Good, punya. Akarma is doing nothing, you will not get any result. But punya means you will get good results.
Karma, in this case, if we keep God in center, then that is good. Karma giving good result will give us enjoyment. After enjoyment, we will become contaminated and the cycle will go on.
Correct, very nice explanation. So we have seen those people who are born rich in a good family. They are born because of their nice, good credits, good activities which they have done, and now they are enjoying the result. And generally, what they are doing right now, they are engaging in sinful activities. They are simply wasting their life, money, and so many things, and bad results are awaiting them for sure. So this is a vicious cycle in which a person is stuck. And let's say someone say, "No, I'll perform all good activities only till the end of my life." Still, such a person, it is said, person who has done a lot of good activities, he will go to Swarga Loka. Maybe he enjoy there a lot, but again he will come here. And the problem here is birth, death, old age, disease. These four problems are there everywhere in the material world. So you have to take birth. Birth is also very painful, where 9 months you have to be stuck in the womb of a mother. Like, think yourself, if I put you in a sack right now for 9 months, how you will feel? It's actually a very, very painful condition. It is also said that in the belly of the mother, there are various kinds of insects which trouble the children, and he faces various burning sensations. And it's a lot of problem for 9 months. So birth is painful. Then again, we get so many diseases. Diseases are painful. Old age is also coming. We don't think that I'll never become old. Youths especially never think that they will also become like their father or grandfather one day. But that will also happen inevitably. And then finally, old age is also there and death. It is certain for everyone. So even if you perform good activities, you have to go through this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So the main aim is liberation. Liberation from this cycle of birth, death, old age, disease. That can happen when only and only when you do a karma. Because a karma do not produce any result. So you do not have to enjoy or suffer any result and come back here. Even if you do good activity for enjoying that, you have to come back here only. Very good. So again, you will have to take birth, that old age. So this cycle will continue. So therefore, the spiritualists aim at akarma, or doing those activities which do not produce any results, so that they can break this cycle of birth and death. The simple definition is of akarma is everything belongs to God and it should be used in His service. Like Krishna says that Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Tam Mano Buddhi Revacha. Said that earth, water, fire, air, ether. Of everything you see here, it is made of these five elements only. And these five elements are energy of Krishna. It is not my energy. Do you produce all these things from your energy? No. It's Krishna only produces. So everything emanates from Krishna and everything should be used in His service. Like let's say once what happened, a person he wanted to build a building. He was a very rich person. So he employed some of the workers and those workers worked very hard day and night for years. They worked hard and they nicely put up a building. And at the end, worker is saying, क्योंकि ये हमने बनाया तो ये मेरा building है. Because I have made them, this is. But who supplied the ingredients? It was the owner. They just the transformation of the ingredients for them, so they cannot claim their ownership. So similarly, for the various things which we have, we cannot claim ownership because this is not my energy. This is energy of Krishna. For this, for purpose of service, I have got it for some time. So that should be used in service of Krishna. So when you use all the things or paraphernalia across you in the service of Krishna, then that is karma. Even your job can be molded into a karma, where you are earning not just to enjoy for yourself, but in the service of God, where you want to maintain yourself and then you want to have the movement of Krishna consciousness. So in that way also our karma can be did. So we'll see further activities what to do. But I hope everything you have understood what is karma, akarma and vikarma. So which person does akarma? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Someone please read the translation. You want to read, bro?
Those people who execute their duties according to my instructions and who follow these teachings faithfully without envy become free from bondage of fugitive actions.
Fruitive actions means karma and vikarma, the cycle. So one who follows Bhagavad Gita, he naturally does akarma. So therefore one need not do anything, just follow the instructions which are given into Bhagavad Gita. So by that only one can do akarma. By following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, we can automatically do akarma. Now let me ask you another very interesting question. So is law of karma applicable on animals also? Like if I am killing someone, it's a bad thing. But what if a tiger is killing someone? In general, is it applicable to animals also, karma? Only human beings? I guess तो करो कुछ भी बोलो.
It's only applied to species who are intelligent.
Correct. Very nice. That's a good answer. So good and bad karma, actually it is not applicable for animals because their intelligence is not as developed as humans. So with intelligence comes responsibility also. So here comes our second tenet which we discussed, that responsibility comes when intelligence is developed. So animal cannot understand. He is programmed to do those things. If you go in front of lion and if you try to feed him grass, can he eat it? No, because he is not programmed to do that. He is programmed to eat meat. So therefore, it is a natural instinct for him. So it's not a reaction for him, a sinful reaction. But then for us, we have intelligence what to eat. We have the power of discrimination. So based upon that, we have to make our decisions. So since we have a developed intelligence, then responsibility automatically comes with it. So we have to be very, very responsible in our actions and we must follow according to scriptures. So you cannot say that I didn't know. It's not possible. Like an example is given, like let's say a small child is there and in front of him some fire is there. So if he goes and touches the fire, will fire think that, oh, it's a small child, he is an ignorant child, he does not know what happens, let me not burn him. Is it possible? No. Fire will irrespectively burn the hand's child. So ignorance is not an excuse. You cannot, if you are held for breaking the law and if you go to court and you say the judge, I didn't knew this was the law, then judge will not entertain you. So then you should have read the law books, at least basic laws are there. So those laws for us are given in scriptures. So therefore it is very, very important to study the scriptures, like Bhagavad Gita especially. So you cannot say that studying Bhagavad Gita is optional. No, it is mandatory because it is law book. If you don't study the law book, you will definitely commit more and more sinful actions and you will suffer with, and then you will blame God that why so much suffering is there. He has given everything. Why didn't you pick up and try to study Bhagavad Gita? Everything is there. So for us, human life is actually a junction. What is the meaning of a junction?
Where
the future destination can be decided based upon whichever path you take. So that means junction. So human life is a junction, whether you can utilize it very nicely and gain a higher form of species, or otherwise, if you degrade it, if you don't use it properly, then you will be degraded to the lower species of life. So we'll see the deeper meaning. What does it mean? The meaning of going to higher species and lower species. But first, let's see an important verse from Bhagavad Gita. You can repeat after me. वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Translation.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
So, Krishna is explaining with a very nice example that how this soul is. So, what is the relation between soul and body? It's just like the relationship between your body and your clothes. So, today I am wearing some different clothes, tomorrow I am wearing some different clothes. So, as one changes the clothes, so similarly, soul changes the body. So there are different species like tiger, lion, monkey, etc. So many species are there. We'll also see how many species exist according to the scriptures. So these are nothing just various dresses, and soul is wearing them according to its own karma. So a simple analogy is given to understand this. Let's say you are going to for shopping. Sunday is there, you have some special program. So you think that I'll buy some clothes from a nice shop. You go to the shop and you like the t-shirt and you thought I'll buy it. It's nice, and then you saw the price tag. So it's 5,000, and then you open the wallet and you saw only 1,000 rupees is there. So can you buy that cloth? No. So you will find something which is in your own budget. So similarly is with your body, how much ever karma credit you have, according to that only you will get the body. It's not that you have done very bad activities and then you will get a human body again in the next life. It's not like that. So it's highly based on your karma. Whatever activities you are doing right now, that will impact your future. So therefore, it is said human life is a junction from where you can decide whether you want to upgrade yourself or to lower yourself. So now let's see the various species or garments which are there for soul. How many of them are there? So this is very nice shloka in Vishnu Puran. Jalja navalakshani sthavara laksha vekshati kramayo rudra sankyaka pakshinam dashalakshanam trimshal lakshani pashava chatur lakshani manusha. So this talks about the various species. How many kinds of species are there? So is it visible? Please someone read it. Anand.
There are 900,000 species living in the water. There are also 2 million non-moving living entities, such as trees and plants. There are also 11 lakh species of insects and reptiles, and there are 10 lakh species of birds. As far as quadrupeds are concerned, there are 30 lakh varieties, and there are 400,000 human species.
So Vishnu Puran verse, it gives a breakup. Total there are 8.4 million kinds of species, and by our action we can go to any one of them. Can you imagine 8.4 million kinds of species? So based upon your actions or activities which you are doing, so many varieties there. So this actually answers the question: what is the basis of diversity? Initially we saw why so much diversity is there. So that is because of our actions, and according to that we get a corresponding body and corresponding enjoyments and sufferings. So you need not necessarily involve the God that because of God I am suffering or because of God I am. When enjoyment comes, you naturally will take the credit. I worked hard, so I am enjoying. But when suffering comes, automatically, why Lord has made so many sufferings? Why only I am suffering? So all that. So let's see what activities decide our next body. So repeat after me. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam yajat kalevaram tam tam naiveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Translation.
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
So this is very important tenet. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti. Who is son of Kunti? Arjuna. So he is saying to Arjuna, that state he will attain without fail. So that means if you are thinking of a particular species while you are dying, you will get that kind of body. But now, do you see some contradiction? What is the contradiction?
Then every time I'm quitting my body, I again think of human being.
Now the contradiction in regards to what we studied right now, what decides our next body? What we saw? Karma. But here it is saying while dying, whatever I think of, I'll get the body. So isn't this a contradiction? So how to understand this? Therefore, actually, it is said scriptures are meant for intelligent people because only they can resolve the contradictions. Otherwise, people will say, "Arey, these are contradictions. I will not study scriptures." So how do you reconcile this? So it is said death is very very painful time, where all of your each and every body part of your is crying with pain. So at that time, do you have that much control on your mind that you will think that what you want? No, right? Right now, only our mind is so uncontrolled. What to speak at the time of death? In Garud Puran, it is said during death, the pain which a living entity suffers is equivalent to 100 scorpions biting him together at one time. Anyone has suffered one scorpion bite? Not even one. And think of 100 scorpion bites biting together. That is the pain of death. At that time, one cannot. Just a second. At that time, one cannot think that I'll think of this species and I'll get that species. It's not possible. So then, what will you think of at that time? Naturally, you will think whatever activities you have done throughout the life, your karma, you will be able to remember that only. Because these activities which you do the most, it forms a strong impression in your mind, and that only will come at the point of death. So now it's reconciled because whatever karma you are doing, that only will come to your mind at the point of death, and according to that only you will get the species. The questions will take at the end. So now Srila Prabhupada he said in one of the purports to Bhagavad Gita, he said, of course, one's thought during the course of one's life accumulate to influence one's thought at the moment of death. So this life creates one's next life. So one cannot be over smart and think I'll do all kind of bad activities and then last में I'll think of a very high species, maybe a species of demigod. Indra के बारे में सोचूंगा and I'll get the body of Indra or Suryadev, some other demigod. So one cannot be smart like that. If you are smart, scriptures are much more smarter than you. They know all these kinds of techniques. So you cannot escape all these things. So therefore, whatever activities you are doing, based upon that only you will get the consciousness, and based upon that only you will get the next body. Now another very important question: do we get the karmic reaction in same life? मैंने ये अभी किया है, मुझे इसी लाइफ में मिलेगा. Is it a rule? Sometimes, okay. So let's understand this with an example of growing a seed. So there are different type of. As soon as you do an action, a seed is placed. An invisible seed is placed in your heart that will fructify, and the fruit will be based upon what kind of action you did. You did good action, you will get good fruit. You did bad action, you will get the bad fruit. So different types of plant species, it takes different time from them to harvest. Like some seeds, they fructify in few days. Some of them, they fructify in few months. And some of them, like mango tree, it takes years also to fructify. So similar is with karma. So karma is also like that. Based upon your actions, some actions, a reaction immediately will jata. Some actions, reaction, it takes very long, sometimes even lifetimes. So let's see a practical example from Mahabharata. And everyone knows Dhritarashtra. Anyone knows his past life? So at the end of Kurukshetra war, when Dhritarashtra asked Krishna that why I had to suffer so much, my 100 sons killed in front of me when father is present. It's very very painful to see even one son dying when father is present. For father and mother, it's very very painful. Think about his condition: 100 sons, all 100 sons dead in front of him, and father is still living. So he was in a very very painstaking condition, and in that condition he approached Krishna and he asked that why so much suffering is there in my life. So therefore Krishna, with his mystic hour, he started to show him all his previous lives. So till 49 previous lives it was all okay, but something he did in his 50th life, like 50 lifetimes before he did some activity. So 50 lifetimes back he was a hunter, and he was hunting a bird, and he was trying to hunt the bird, and somehow that bird, male bird, he escaped. He escaped from his hunting net, and in his frustration, what he did, in the nest of that bird, there were 100 eggs that were about to grow as a child. But in his frustration, he broke all of them. He killed all of them, all the 100 babies. And that male bird, he could do nothing, but he could see there with agony and pain because he also could not do anything. So because of that action, you are facing the reaction right now after 50 lifetime. तो धृतराष्ट्र ने बोला अरे इतना है उसी टाइम दे देते हैं. That time only you would have given. इतना 50 lifetimes later you are giving. Why it's like that? So what is the answer for that? Why to wait so much? Actually, it is said that you have to have very very pious activities even to have one son, because son, the name son, meaning of son in Sanskrit it is called putra. It is considered to be one kind of hell, and Tra means Trayate. So one who delivers him from the hell named Pu. So therefore son is named as Putra. So therefore a son, having a son also, it's a very very good this one. For having children also you should have pious activities. So therefore for one person only you should have so much activities. So think about 100. So all these lifetimes he was accumulating the pious credits to accumulate 100 sons. Getting 100 sons in one lifetime, it's a huge benediction also, especially for a person who is in this Kshatriya dynasty. So for them it's a big thing. So for 50 lifetimes he was accumulating the karma so that he could get 100 lifetime. In this lifetime he got, by killing the result, the other karma, bad karma got nullified. So because of that. Now someone may ask कि उसी life में कुछ ना कुछ करके karma दे दो, but will not be able to handle that much. एक ही लाइफ में अगर सब कुछ मिल जाएगा तो दैट इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू हैंडल. दैट डाउन ये हार्ड डिस्क क्रैश हो जाएगा हमारा. सो देयरफॉर इट इज गिवन इन पार्ट्स, lifetimes after lifetimes it is given. So now this conclusion, it leads to a very another interesting question, that if everything is according to karma, then does that mean that everything is fixed in life? Life में तो सब कुछ फिक्स हो गया ना. Is everything fixed in life? No. Yes. So a small example is given that major things in your life is fixed because of that, but how and when it will occur, that is not fixed. Like let's say we are building a temple in Whitefield, so a blueprint is there, a blueprint is ready. So your karma, it is compared to that blueprint. A basic structure is present, but now then how we build it, in that we have some of the leniencies are there, some of the ways we can improve. So those are the results which will be ripping off. So therefore a blue karma means blueprint is there, that this much suffering, this much breath, or the quota of happiness and suffering is there, but how and when it will come, that is not fixed. So there are many things which are already fixed, like it is said that number of breaths of a person is already fixed, or the amount of quota of happiness and distress is already fixed. The grain, sometimes it is said no grains also, दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम. So that is also sometimes fixed. So if everything is fixed, what is not fixed? It is said your progress in bhakti or devotional life, that is not fixed. So for that you have a lot of independence. It depends upon you whether you in this life you want to take Bhagavad Gita seriously, you want to study, you want to perform chanting, and you want to elevate yourself to the higher species, or you just want to, or you want to liberate yourself from God, or you want to stay here. So bhakti is something which is not fixed. That fixed हो गया कि इतना ही भक्ति करेगा, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. Many times people say no, Prabhuji इतना ही हो पाएगा. Only level 1 sessions I'll be able to attend, only one round I'll send. So it is not a fixed thing. So it depends on that. There's a flexibility which is given. If you want, you can nicely perform devotional service. So that is not fixed. And devotional service is so powerful that it can eradicate all the reactions of your sinful activities which you have done. It is so very powerful. We'll see in future. But before that, we'll see another question: why do bad things happen to good people? So with whatever discussion we have got, do you got the answer for this? If you have got the answer, can someone please explain? I am doing good activities right now, but still suffering is coming. ऐसे भी होता है. Because in past life you might have committed some bad activity. A small example is given, like once there was a farmer and his small child is there. So he harvested the grains, farmer harvested the grains and he kept in this container. So first month he harvested the grains were not very good quality. The bad grains were there. So they all came down. He put it from up and everything settled down. Next month the grains were good. Pretty much good grains were there. And he was putting the good grains up from up. And then the child, he removed the nozzle down. And he's seeing that his father is putting good grains from up, but from down bad grains are coming. So how is it that? Why? Because first bad grains were given and those are coming out, and later good grains will also come. So similar is with karma also. Like once there were two persons who were performing devotional activities. So one was very very serious, very very enthusiastic, and he was nicely performing. He was following his guru, whatever guru has said. He was doing all activities nicely. other was not at all serious. In fact, in the name of bhakti, he was doing some obnoxious activities also, some sinful activities also. One day, what happened that this person who was very very good, who was performing devotion service very very nicely, he was walking, and then one kaate ko kya bolte hain English mein? Thorn. One of the thorns it pricked his feet, and he started bleeding. He came to his guru. Meanwhile, other disciple also came who was doing all kinds of obnoxious bad activities, and he came that मुझे रास्ते में gold coin मिला. I got a gold coin on the street. So now he became very, very, the good disciple, he became very, very upset that I am following Bhakti so nicely and still I got a thorn and he is waste fellow, he is doing all these kind of things and he is getting a gold coin on the street. So how is that justified? So at that time Guru explained that actually the good disciple, he was saying to him, actually you were to suffer a lot. But because you have performed nice devotional service, Lord has reduced your suffering to only one thorn. That is nothing. You have to suffer for lifetimes. And this good, the apparently good person was the bad disciple. He was supposed to get a full pot of gold coins with thousands of gold coins, but because he has nonsense activities, he is getting only one gold coin. So it's from externally speaking activity, you cannot judge the people that, Arey, why I am doing so much things, but I am suffering, he is doing nothing and he is enjoying life. So from external point of view, it may be like that, but from internally, all this karma is working. So there is no question of luck. People say, no, luckily ho gaya. It's fortune, by fortune I got that. So there is no question of luck. There is no, nothing happens by chance. Every one of us is wearing a bag. It might be invisible, but we are all carrying a bag of karma. So everyone is carrying, certainly it is there with us. And based upon that only we categorize. If good things come, then we call it luck. If bad things come, we blame it on God. But now we understand the science, why there are good activities and suffering also. Now, a very interesting question. You may say that, okay, Prabhuji, I have performed many bad activities in my past life, no doubt, at least in this life or in past life, I would have performed. So, I have a good idea, Prabhuji. I'll do many good activities and I'll counteract all my bad activities. How is the idea? Can good karma and bad karma nullify each other? No. What is 7 minus 4 equal to? 3. But in spiritual mathematics, this does not work. It is 7 and minus 4. Like let's say if you do 7 good activities and 4 bad activities, that does not mean that I'll get 3 good activities. No, you'll get the result for those 7 good activities and you will face the result for those 4 bad activities also. This is spiritual mathematics. इसमें ऐसे cancellation नहीं होता. If I'll murder someone and then I'll do charity and then I'll think that. So it does not work like that. So you will have to face reactions for both of them. And then another very important thing which we already discussed is ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You cannot say I did not know, and then you will Yamraj बोलेगा हाँ ठीक है इसको पता नहीं था भेज दो इसको. So it does not work like that. And the examples also we have given arresting while speeding, principles of hygiene, and child putting his hand in fire. So all these things in modern times most people are unaware of laws of karma, but that ignorance cannot be the excuse because Lord has given all the facilities. You require intelligence to understand, that is given. You require scriptures to understand, that is also given. So all things is given in your facility, but if we are still more lazy to even read Bhagavad Gita daily, then it's our fault. We cannot give it as an excuse. So it is only due to ignorance of truth of life that people perform sinful activity, and because of that only suffering is there. So you cannot blame upon God. Yeah, I am because of God I am suffering. So human life it is meant to understand the purpose of life, not to be ignorance. So an animal life he cannot understand what is happening to him. Like an example is given, like you have seen the goats in slaughterhouses. Like they keep varieties of goats and one by one they are slaughtered and eaten. So one goat is being slaughtered and the goat which is just beside him is busy eating grass. He is not able to understand what is going to happen to him next. He is simply busy eating grass. So similar is case with us also. For us also death is coming each and every second, death is coming near to us. But we are trying to enjoy a little bit here and there. ये movie देखूंगा, ये करूंगा, and we are trying to spend our life in some way or the other, not knowing that death can strike at any point of time. So we are, if you don't study scriptures, you are just like animals only. Therefore, it is said. So there is a very, very crude example to understand that human life is not just meant for wasting time or enjoying a little bit happiness here and there, but to study and understand scriptures which can give the ultimate happiness and liberation. So therefore, we have to remove that ignorance. And human life, being endowed with higher intelligence, provides us an opportunity to become free from ignorance. Now, you might have told, now you say that we cannot counteract bad reactions with good reaction. Okay, then what is the solution? Past में तो कर लिया, वो भोगना ही पड़ेगा. In past, I might have committed so many bad activities. So is it compulsory now I'll have to suffer only, or is there some shortcut? There is always a shortcut. Can we modify our past reactions? Let's see from Bhagavad Gita, from 2.50. Repeat after me. बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह
बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह
उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते
दुष्कृते
तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व
तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Someone read the translation.
A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in his life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work.
A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions. Now, many people are bewildered by hearing this. Prabhuji, bad reaction to ठीक है. Good reaction also it will take away. Anyways, I have little bit punya. That also fed to bhakti, that will also go away. So here, though, it's very striking statement. So why is it? Actually, I'll make a statement. You say whether it's correct or not. In this material world, both good and bad karma are bad only. Is it correct statement?
Yes, right.
How?
Again, I will come back to new life to
Even if you take as I already discussed, even if you do all good activities, to enjoy that result also you have to come back here only. No? But that old age, these four problems will be there only. So therefore, both are equally bad. And those we see those who have got these good facilities by doing good karma, they waste their life generally. So because of ultimately it is said that both are good only. So we are the people who strive for a karma. And a person who performs devotional service, who engages his life, major life into doing devotional service, then Krishna only says in Bhagavad Gita that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayami Ma Shucha. That don't worry, I'll take care of all your bad sinful reactions and even the good reactions. Because if good reaction का पुण्य भी बचा है तो to enjoy that you have to come here only. No? Again you will have to go through birth, death, old age. So Krishna says, don't worry, I'll take both of them and I will take you to my abode, spiritual abode, where there is no question of birth, death, old age, and disease, where you don't change body, where there is no kinds of suffering. So that Krishna guarantees in Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, devotional service is also not an option. If Prabhuji old age आएगा, तो at that time I will open Bhagavad Gita. Will you be able to study at old age in Bhagavad Gita? Now only people are not able to understand. People are studying from 10 years, 20 years. They are not able to understand what in old age you will pick up. Yeah, I have seen chanting of Hare Krishna mantra also for old people. It is very difficult because somehow some of them have lost memory so much they can even for them Hare Krishna mantra is like jumble word. Hare Krishna, फिर Ram आ रहा है, फिर Krishna आ रहा है. For us it is easy to understand, but they cannot even memorize Hare Krishna mantra. So that is a pathetic condition in old age when so many other problems are there. So much pain your body will suffer through. You will not be able to speak, chant. What devotional service will perform? And lifetime what you have done, old age also you will do that only. It's not that old age suddenly अंदर का भक्ति जाग जाएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. So therefore devotional service has to be performed since the very birth, from childhood. Prahlad Maharaj, he said in one of his teachings that bhakti has to be started from the age of 5. Kaumaram Acharit Bhakti. And here most of us are sitting here about 25 only. So we are already 20 to 30 years late. Already हम पीछे चल रहे हैं. Now we have to cover that syllabus also. So therefore one must strive for bhakti. One must increase, try to regularly come for these classes. That is must weekly once you have to come. And that too only for 1 hour session. Is that too much? And chanting one round daily, is it too much? Hardly it takes 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, not more than that. So ask is nothing, just 15 minutes of your daily time and weekends just 1 hour. Just by doing that, you will progress a lot. You will see in long term, you will see definitely changes. So, and if you have to see some changes in your life, then definitely you have to come regularly. Otherwise, it is meaningless. Like let's say an example is given. If a person he goes to gym and he says that he says to the gym trainer that I will come only once a week, and in 3 months you give me body of Hrithik Roshan. The gym trainer बोलेगा भाग यहाँ से. Because for that consistently you have to come and you have to put efforts. Then only some subsequent results you will see. So devotional services are also like that. You will be able to see results very quickly, but the key is consistency. Consistently you have to come, attend these courses, chant daily without fail. Then in long term you will be able to see changes for sure. We have seen, we have been from past 3 years. I also, 3 years back I was sitting in the audience. And now because of mercy and guidance of superiors, we are given the service of repeating the scriptures. So therefore, we are also being engaged in preaching this more and more. So it's not difficult, it's easy only, but the consistency is key. Trying to come regularly for this class. Final slide, dealing with adverse situations in life. Because all of us will naturally face problems in life, adverse situations in life. So what is the learnings which you take from this session? First is accept the fact that I have done it. ऐसा नहीं है गलती से भगवान का कैलकुलेशन गलत हो गया ना, उसको बुरा कर्मा भेजना था तो मेरे को अच्छा लगेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. This kinds of mistake, human error happen with us, but not in the higher realm. So therefore, accept it that I have done it and I have to face it. First step is acceptance. And then you have to always think with every suffering, the burden of sin is definitely getting reduced. And the third one is go deeper in spiritual life, which is the permanent solution. Going deeper in spiritual life will help you counteract all this bad suffering in your life. Because suffering is there only due to ignorance. In ignorance, one commits sinful activity, and because of that, suffering is there. So this can be counteracted by devotional service, as said by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It will rid you of all kinds of bad and good reactions both. So with this, we'll end today's session. So we can take a short Q&A. We have 10 minutes more. 7 o'clock. So someone has any question? Yes.
I need to find it.
You can go ahead. You had a question? Mike is there. You are coming for first time? Second.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So, as you were saying, like whatever karma we do, like we will face the next generation, like we might be insects or something like that. So my question is like we are like I'm in this 25, like I'm staying away from my parents. At times we have man is very gentle, like at times we make mistakes. So suppose I make some mistakes, what should I do? Or how should I control my man? Like that is my question.
How do you control your mind?
Man is just gentle, right? So we get distracted. So that is the question.
So that's what Arjuna also said in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that solution is simple, you control your mind. But then Arjuna said that controlling mind is more difficult than controlling wind. So can you control winds across? If a strong breeze is blowing, can you control the wind? No, right? So Arjuna is saying difficult than controlling wind is difficult, more difficult is to control mind. That much how chanchal or unrestful, obstinate this mind is. So Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kantaya vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyas means practice and vairagya means renunciation. So when you come in light, when you come in knowledge, when you study these scriptures, automatically your mind will be able to be in control. When you perform this mantra meditation, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra regularly, you will be able to see massive changes. So spiritual life, it pertains more to these kinds of devotional activities like Hare Krishna mantra, studying Bhagavad Gita, that will give you light. And by that light, you will be able to control your mind. Your mind can be fully under your control. And there are many saints who have been in past. For them, their senses and mind are completely in control by the depth of their spiritual activities. The spiritual activities are the activities because mind is a material object. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna only says. So that can be easily controlled by spiritual entity, spirit soul, if we do a right process. Then it can be easily controlled. Because mind is material thing is inferior energy and spiritual thing is superior energy. So superior energy can easily control given if you follow the right process which is given. When you follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and you do chanting is very, very important. Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, he used to say that 99% of your progress in spiritual life depends upon chanting. 99%. Chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, how much attentively you are doing it. We only know how much attentively we do. Like if we sit for one round, our mind will go to America and come back also and we will not realize, oh, एक round खत्म हो गया, पता ही नहीं चला. So the technique of it is keeping your mind on mantra, hearing each and every syllable of the mantra, and whenever it distracts, again you have to bring it back. So this is a simple technique, and this mantra it is so powerful that it will help you. So in scriptures, many mantras are there, but this is called as Maha Mantra. The upadhi of Maha Mantra is given to this mantra only, not any other mantra. Maha Mantra. This is called Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because it is so very powerful. It can subjugate all your mind, senses, everything. It can bring a great relief. So therefore, you see many of the corporate people also who are at a very high position, even CEO. Some of the people who are working in Google also, they also before going to office, they wake up early in the morning and they do 2 hours of chanting. Here we are talking about just 10 to 12 minutes. But ideally, they people do 2 hours of chanting, 60 rounds they do before going to office also. And even though they are very busy, you can see, understand CEO at various different companies, they are very busy, but still they take out time for spiritual activities because it has helped them massively to bring their mind under control and subjugation. So therefore, even big people are following, even acharyas have recommended, even scripture has said the power of this mantra. So therefore, this is a very powerful mantra, and following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, with time you will be able to definitely win over your mind. That is verdict of scriptures, not my verdict.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I just have a small follow-up question on that. Suppose if this is something in the future, but something if we have done in the past, some mistakes, so that keeps evolving in your mind. So how to?
So these samskaras, what we have done past, they are very strong impressions in the mind. So by devotional service, these impressions will get reduced also. Till that time, you have to learn to tolerate. Like for example, fan is there. If I turn the fan switch on, it will rotate for some time. If I turn it off, will it get stopped immediately? It will take some time. Similarly, we might have performed bad activities in past life. Now we are not performing, but the result of that bad activities might trouble us now also. So at that time, what we have to do? Simply tolerate. Tolerate. Titikshva. That Krishna only says in Bhagavad Gita, Titikshva, and continue to perform your devotional service. Tolerate and at the same time continue to perform your devotional service. With time, it will be subjugated. Like fan, with time, because of resistance, it will slow down and it will stop. So those reactions which are troubling you now, with time, if you learn to tolerate, it will also stop, and you will be able to see that there are no more future disturbances coming from them. And with that, you have to do devotional activity, not just tolerate, because toleration power also comes from our devotional activities only. So the more you do, more your toleration power also increases. So it boils down to strong devotional sadhana daily, and then developing the quality of titikshva tolerance. That will help. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Just a second, we'll take the mic. Others can also listen. Because many times we also have the question, but पूछने में डर लगता है, तो शायद सामने वाला भी वही डाउट पूछ रहा होगा तो क्लियर हो जाए. Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One question is that you mentioned that death is very painful, death is like 100 scorpions fighting at one time. Sometimes we say that that person passed very peacefully in their sleep. So that is not peaceful.
So means this is an generally it is said for a very sinful person that they suffer this kind of death, that 100 scorpions biting. Garud Puran is only meant for that those people who go to hellish condition of life. So based upon your activities, many painstaking. Death is there for devotees also. Devotees also die. But then what is the difference? That is very nicely explained through scriptures. Like let's say a cat is there. A cat, it has killed a mouse and it is there in the jaws of cat. What is the condition of that mouse? Very painful. But that cat, she has kids also, kittens also. If she's also picking the kittens with that mouth only. But are the kittens suffering? No. They are in fact enjoying the touch of their mother. So similarly, death is like that. For sinful people, death is like that of a squirrel or a mouse. And for devotees, death is like that of kitten, where प्यार से उनको ले जाके वैकुंठ में place करते हैं. So death is there for certain, but non-painful for devotees and those who engage in good.
Another question is that we got to know this karma cycle is there, good karma, bad karma. We got to know how it ends by our devotional service, but how it starts, like how did we get our first life to fall into this trap?
So this is also a very interesting question, and answers have been given in the scriptures that initially we have a desire to enjoy, and therefore we fall from the spiritual world. Like we have to enjoy, we have to enjoy independent of God. So therefore God has created this material world where you can. So therefore actually God exists everywhere, but because God has created illusion, you cannot see him anywhere because God exists everywhere. And with that mentality, I want to enjoy separate from God. So therefore, when we come here, initially our first karma is that of a very highly elevated soul, like that in species of a demigod, Brahma, Indra, and that bodies we get. But then, because of our, some of them they elevate in spiritual life and they again go back home back to God into spiritual world. But some of them they degrade also, and we are the examples of those degraded from Brahma, lower and lower species because of bad engaging in bad activities, and then we are struggling here in 8.4 million species. So it begins with the desire to enjoy independent of God, and it results from enviousness from God.
Even in the highest planet, these kinds of thoughts can come to our mind.
Sure, this material world, everywhere enviousness is there from God, therefore they are here. If there is no enviousness, we will be in spiritual world in Vaikuntha.
Okay. And my last question is that is it quantified, like how much bhakti can help us get liberated? Like we can track our progress, something like that. Is one life enough to get liberated if we do our best?
Prabhupada said, some devotee asked this question to Prabhupada also. He said, is one life because we have been performing so many bad activities from millions of lifetimes. So is it possible to counteract all of them in one life? Prabhupada looked at him and he said, you are not studying Bhagavad Gita? It takes only one moment. One moment of surrender where Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, leave all kind of occupational duty and just surrender it to me. So it just takes a moment. For us, it is not very tangible to say that हाँ अभी मैं सब कुछ job वॉब छोड़ दूंगा and I'll just surrender to Krishna. But first step you have to take, that is try to be consistent in devotional service. You begin with that. You begin with whatever is possible for you, whatever is there in your plate. How much ever your time you can give, and with that you progress gradually. So it is definitely possible to counteract in one lifetime. Even Shukdev Goswami, he asked the same thing to Parikshit Maharaj also asked the same thing to Shukdev Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he said that you have Parikshit Maharaj might say that I have only 7 days. He got a curse that he will die in 7 days. So Shukdev Goswami said, don't worry, even moment is enough. You still have 7 days. You have a lot of time. So if you use that time properly, definitely you can counteract all the sinful reactions. But proper utilization of time and your seriousness on bhakti, that is the factor that will decide. Any question? Do you have any more questions? Yes, ma'am. Okay, you can say your name also before asking so that I can know. Your name? What? Sure. Good.
I am Vinod.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Guruji, आप
गुरुजी मत बोलिए प्रभुजी
तेलुगु
in English someone can translate. He'll translate. Anyone else have a question meanwhile?
So, Prabhuji, the question is, if you do good karma and bad karma, there are, according to scriptures, there is Swarga and Naraka, right? So, if all the sinful activities are removed in Naraka and all the good karma is removed in Swarga, then why take another life and come back to earth?
So it's not that you get the reaction for everything in Swarga and Naraka only. So there is a bandwidth. Those who perform a lot of sinful reaction only, they get to Naraka. Otherwise, in this planet only, you will be degraded to some lower species of life, like tiger or something, or lower species or abominable species of life. So there is a bandwidth. If you do a lot of bad karma only, then you are taken to bad hellish life. And if you do a lot of good activities, pious activities according to scriptures, only then you are taken to the heavenly planet. If you are in middle, you will be here only, into some higher species of life or lower species of life here only. As a human, you will get good facilities if you do good karma in that bandwidth, and if you do bad karma, a human in lower species or into some lower species like that, or human with less facilities. You got it? A very nice question. Yes. Karma is very nice topic. No? Naturally, we are so inquisitive and so many questions come. Other session में हम पूछते पूछते पागल हो गए. कुछ पूछो. There is no. Yes.
My name is Shreyas. So, what I want to ask is, how come spiritual life or the spiritual devotional activities come into the karma? Because I think like it comes into the good karma, and if they are coming into a karma, then how come they are nullifying our bad karmas?
So first of all, it does not come under good karma, because good karma, we are by definition, good karma is those activities which give material happiness to you, like wealth and all those things. Devotional service is not like that. It's not that I perform devotional service to get rich. It's not like that. So therefore, it does not fall under karma. Neither it falls under vikarma. Akarma, that by definition, it means those actions which does not produce any material result. So it produces spiritual result for sure, but what I meant is material result. It does not produce any material result which is pertaining to this body or the facilities according to it. So in that sense, it is a karma. And devotional service by nature, it is so powerful that it is compared that let's say there is a heap of dry grass, and if I just put a little fire of spark, immediately it will catch fire and will burn all the dry grass that is there. So our sinful activities are also like that dry grass, and devotional service is that powerful spark of fire which can burn it. So by nature, devotional service is so very powerful that it can counteract all your good and bad activities both. But by nature, it is in itself it is karma because it does not produce any material results. Spiritual result it definitely produces. That is going back to spiritual. Today we have got nice intellectual audience. Huh? Have you been asking nice questions? Yes.
This is Lavudi sir. So,
Hello?
Lavudi sir. Name is Lavudi sir. According to the Bhagavad Gita, what you have did in past life, so we are facing currently someone is killed, so जो डेथ होता है क्या वो उसका पास्ट लाइफ से संबंध रहता है?
So this is very interesting question. So we'll cover it in karma in depth. So there is another session. There is basics of karma we have seen, but there is also karma in depth. So this is where if someone is getting killed, is it also karma only, or let's say if someone is committing suicide, is it also karma? What do you say? Suicide also karma.
It's in a script, but
Do you want to get the answer now or in our future session?
Now,
अभी चाहिए आंसर. ठीक है, but don't get bewildered. Future session you will be able to understand nicely. So here I'll just give an ऊपर से answer दे देता हूँ. So it's just like a person is committing suicide. So that is a choice that is willingly making. So even though you have got a human body, as I said, karma is just a blueprint. कि ऐसा होगा आपके साथ. But you still have got a factor of choice. A choice is there. So therefore, those people who are committing suicide, by their choice, they are giving up the body. But the problem with that is, does this body belong to me? No, it is just a rented property. It belongs to God only, this body also, because it is made of material elements. So what right you had to destroy that body? So therefore, suicide is also considered to be sinful only. It has bad implications for future life because purposefully you are rejecting the law of nature. You are supposed to live for 80 years, but in the age of 40 only you are committing suicide. You are breaking the laws of nature and God. So you will be punished for that. So people they think that मेरी life में इतना problem है मैं suicide कर लूँगा तो शायद खत्म हो जाएगा problem. नहीं, that is the beginning of the problem. और बड़ा problem आएगा future because you have broken the law of nature. Therefore, people are committing suicide also because of the ignorance only. If people outside they start to commit these sessions, automatically all crime rates will decrease. But the problem is they don't want to hear or understand Bhagavad Gita. So murder and all these crimes follow in this category only, where there is a little bit choice given to a living entity. And if you misuse that kind of freedom, so that implications, a new cycle will be formed, and that implications you will have to face in your life. So not everything is fixed. As I said, karma is a blueprint. So some choice is also given to us. And I was fearful that with that more questions will come.
Last question.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my name is Bablu.
Hmm.
If I am suffering in this life and because of past life activities, but how to know that I have done this activity in this past life? How do I feel that I'm guilty for this? So that's
Like Dhritarashtra, you go to Krishna and Krishna will show you your 50 life. So as I already covered in previous, read this.
I have done. Okay.
So गलतियाँ उन लोग से नहीं होती, हमसे होती है. So nature does not make any mistake. So if you are suffering, just accept the fact that I have done it. I have to face it. No need to अभी जाके क्या करेंगे कैलकुलेट करके कब किया था उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Now तो you are suffering. No? Like an example is given, if you are going let's say into a ship and someone threw you off the ship and you have fallen into the ocean and now you are dying, you are drowning in the ocean, you will call for help. No, please save me. और ये वैसे किसने मेरे को धक्का मारा, किसने धक्का, वो तो ऊपर आके देखोगे ना, बचने के बाद देखोगे. First your priority is to save yourself. So it does not matter that कौन से कर्मा का reaction कब आ रहा है. Now you are suffering. No, now we have to counteract that. So that is more important. Not to know कि कब क्या किया उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है उससे. Okay, I think we are done. So we'll go for very important activity, mantra meditation. we can distribute the bits. पैर दुख रहे हैं किसी के? If you want to stretch your legs, because for chanting you have to be in full concentration. Initially when I used to come, our